Happy Friday. We are coming off a huge 1-0 sweep. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some more MLB. No more of that 6-game slate. We got a full 15-game one on a Friday. Yesterday, nice 1-0 day. We had two bets. One was a push. We'll go over that recap in just a little bit. But NBA Best Bets video is already out for Game 6 between the Celtics and Knicks, so be sure to go check that out. But of course, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it. I got an MLB fun fact. An ex-Mariner pitcher. He pitched for more than the Mariners. Jamie Moyer. If you don't know, he's a lefty. When I was a kid, an unbelievable changeup. But he played in 50 different MLB stadiums over the course of his career. Why? Well, he played 25 seasons. This man had Tommy John surgery at age 47 just so he could play one more year at age 49. That is insane. Career 4.25 ERA, won 269 games, in case you guys don't know. But 50 different MLB stadiums. You've been around for a while. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday. Then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups. Then give you the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire pitcher report, and of course, we'll finish it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. All right, let's get into it. And that means it's recap time. All right, there it is. First, we start with a push, and we talked about this Jacob deGrom versus Hunter Brown matchup. I said, you know what, even if it's tied 0-0, 1-1, it's still a push. Well, guess what? The offenses couldn't do anything. I mean, it was a 1-0 game, but after 5, it was 0-0, so it's a push. A.J. Smith shot over 16.5 outs recorded, a nice, easy winner. That man is looking pretty good, that's for sure, since after being called back up from the minors. But either way, we'll take a 1-0 day, small winning day, but still, as you can see, we had digging ourselves out of that hole. We are now down under 2 units. Again, I can smell the positive. I can smell it. It's here. So there's the overall record with the breakdown. That's what I got for the recap. Now let's talk those hitter matchups. All right, we got a ton of good hitter matchups for you today, and it starts with a wild one. How about the little guy, Jose Altuve, 14 for 36 with 7 home runs off of Nathan Eovaldi. That is absolutely insane to me. But then Jose Ramirez, 12 for 27 with 5 extra base hits, 3 bombs off Brady Singer. Steven Kwan, his teammate, 9 for 23 off Singer. Simeon, who's not swinging the bat well, but 7 for 19 off the struggling McCullers. And then Kyle Farmer, because everyone loves to bet him. And then we go over there on the right side. How about Nick Castellanos, 6 for 8 with an extra base hit off Andrew Heaney. And then we go down, Ramon Laureano, 6 for 8. Nolan Jones, 5 for 7 off Brady Singer. So the Guardians got some guys who know how to hit Singer, that's for sure. But that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Take a screenshot. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. Just 5 of them. We got George Springer. How about 0 for 14 with 6 strikeouts versus Flaherty? Paredes, 1 for 13 with 7 Ks versus Eovaldi. Reynolds, 4 Ks versus Suarez. And Alex Bregman, 2 for 11 with 6 Ks off of Chris Sale. So that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups, and then a little side note there at the bottom. Mackenzie Gore at the Orioles. The Baltimore, if you don't know, just sucks altogether against lefties. 7th highest K percentage versus lefties last 3 weeks, 25.6%. Gore, one of the best strikeout pitchers in Major League Baseball. 75 Ks in 52.2 innings. He has 7 or more strikeouts in 6 of his last 7 starts. Lower K rate on the road though, but I mean we're talking still 32.5 compared to 38.9 on the road or at home. Much higher K rate versus lefties. Not surprising as a lefty. 41.4%. Guys, he's getting near 1 of every 2 lefties he faces strikes out. Compared to righties, 32.9, still really good. And then Oscar Mayer Wiener against the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays, 2nd highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, 26.8%. Meyer, 52 Ks in 45.1 innings this year, but I will say this is a little warning. He's struggling lately. 5-0 and 6 Ks last 3 starts. He had 14 and 8 before that. He's given up a lot more hits, a lot more runs, so just keep that in mind. But overall, much higher K rate at home, 30.5% compared to 23% on the road. So good splits there, and then similar righty-lefty K rate split. So now this one's not on here, at least as a good pitcher strikeout, but people are going to want to know the details because it's Sale versus Crochet, 2 of the best lefties on planet Earth. Sale versus Boston. Red Sox have the 15th highest K rate versus lefties last 3 weeks. They strike out a lot more versus righties. So it's just kind of, they've been right there around average 22.5%. And then Crochet on the other side against Atlanta Braves, 13th highest K rate versus lefties last 3 weeks at 23.1%. So both kind of average matchups. Doesn't mean these guys can't absolutely dominate, but just want to give you the numbers at least for that premier matchup. So that's what we got for the strikeouts. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 8 matchups of the day. Shane Smith versus Horton. This is going to be Horton's first actual start of the season. So, not much to say there. Smith's been pretty decent this year, but Tanner Bybee versus Singer. Bybee's K rate is down 10% this season. His BABIP batting average on balls in play is super low at 236. So a little lucky there, but been decent there. Then Andrew Heaney been hit and miss this year, only 4th road start of the season. Ranger Suarez, terrible first start, bounced back in his second start, which was his last one, 0 earned runs and 3 hits in 7 innings versus Cleveland. And then Mackenzie Gore, Povich, we will talk about that one later. McGill, Rodon. McGill, 11 of his 14 earned runs given up this season are in the last 3 starts. So it was against Washington, St. Louis, and the Cubs. He pitched really well until these last 3 starts. And then Rodon, weird start last time out, gave up 8 hits and 4 earned runs after dominating for so long. But he also had 10 Ks in that game, even though he gave up 8 hits. And then Flaherty versus Francis. Francis just struggling, giving up 3 earned. He's the guy who gives up like 3 earned runs just by stepping on the mound. And then Jack Flaherty, he's been pretty decent, but a little underachieving for him. And then Sale versus Crochet. We talked a little bit about their Ks. Sale's calmed down a little bit. 2 or less earned runs given up in 5 straight, but 10, 10, and 8 Ks in those last 3 starts. Crochet giving up 5 or less hits now in 8 of 9 starts. Only over was his last start, 7 to the Royals, 7 hits. And then Taj Mahal, Ks are down this year quite a bit, surprisingly, but 2 earned runs allowed in 3 starts, allowed in his last 3 starts. And 2 earned runs in 3 straight starts is what I meant to say. And then Max Meyer, mightily struggling his last 3, like we mentioned, giving up 5 earned runs in 3 straight starts versus the White Sox, A's, and the Mariners. So all the averages on the bottom are now officially 2025 averages, just so you guys have that. That's what we got for page 1. Now let's take a look at page 2. And we start out with Andre Palante versus Cole Reagans. Reagans, Ks are still there, but 3 of the last 4 starts have just not been very good for him. McCullers just looked horrendous. Didn't even make it out of the first inning last start, which was his 2nd of the year again. He was a guy who had 2 years off of pitching because of injuries. Eovaldi, 1 or less earned run in 4 straight. He's been a stud. Joe Ryan versus Patrick, been decent as a rookie. 3 or less earned runs in every start for Patrick, and Joe Ryan has pitched much better lately, that's for sure. As you see a 2.74 ERA, an elite .83 whip by him with a 30% K rate. And then no pitcher yet for Colorado going against Corbin Burns. He's been better lately, 1 earned run in the last 2 starts, and that was against Mets and the Dodgers. Logan Evans, I believe, is going to be who's throwing for the Mariners. He made just 3 starts so far in his 1 road start. He gave up 11 hits and 6 earned runs. Going up against Kolek, he's coming off the game of his life. Complete game shutout versus Colorado. Even though it's Colorado, still, complete game shutout is impressive. But he did throw 104 pitches. Maybe a letdown spot. We will see. And then Kokanovic, something like that, is going to be going up against Carrot Top Dustin May. Struggling lately is Dustin May. 16 earned runs in his last 4 starts over 22.2 innings. And 2 of those were against the struggling Atlanta and Miami Marlins offense. And then JP Sears, I believe it's who's going to be going for the A's. I've seen TBD still for some, but going up against Logan Webb. Webb's K rate is through the roof this year. I mean, it's usually 22, 23, 24%. It is 29.3%. And he's also just given up 1 earned run in 20.1 innings at home this year against Colorado, Milwaukee, and Cincinnati. So, again, not great offenses, but he's usually a guy who dominates at home. So that's what we got for the entire pitcher report. Hopefully this helps you guys get some winners. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this one takes us out to Baltimore, where the Orioles host the Washington Nationals. Orioles on the money line -112, Nats on the money line -108 with a total of 9 runs. We're going to start with a half unit play. Second one's going to be a 1 unit, but this one, Nationals first 5 innings money line -115 on Bet365. Let's dive right in here. We got Mackenzie Gore versus Cade Povich. By the way, first 5 inning money line means if it's a tie again after 5 innings, it's just a push. It's voided. But we have one of the best lefties on or in the league versus one of the worst lefties in the league. Mackenzie Gore, an elite 35% K rate, as we talked about earlier, giving up 5 hits or less in 7 of 9 starts. Struggled a bit in his last 2 starts with 7 total walks. But in the 7 starts prior, he only had 9 total walks. So just a couple bad games with his command, but still didn't give up too many runs. And then he faced the Orioles already, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and had 8 strikeouts earlier this year. He's been better at home, but I still love this matchup. Now let's talk Cade Povich. No bueno. That's what I'm going to say. 8 earned runs in his last 9.2 innings. That's not good. Only 6 strikeouts. K rate is about half of Gore's, 18.4%, and he is struggling at home big time, which is where he will be pitching. 7.94 ERA at home, 300 average against. 6 of his 7 home runs given up this year have been at home. He's given up a 6.14 slugging. It has not been pretty. He's good to give up a few runs. Then offenses here, a big reason I like it. We already got the big starting pitcher advantage. Orioles versus lefties, we've talked about all season long. Everyone and their mother talks about this. They are terrible, just horrendous. 56 WRC plus the last 3 weeks. That's bad. 100 is average. Fourth lowest average and fourth lowest slugging. Seventh highest K rate. 11 straight lefties. I'm going to say this again. 11 straight lefties have given up 2 or less earned runs versus Baltimore. That's insane. Nats offense been pretty decent, actually, surprisingly, with James Woods, C.J. Abrams, those guys being lefties, but they still got some good righty bats. 11th highest WRC plus in the last 3 weeks. 9th highest batting average. 19th in slugging. Average K rate. Definitely a better offense versus lefties in the Nationals. So overall, it's just a simple read for me. Doesn't mean it's a guaranteed win, but much better starting pitcher, a better offense versus lefties. Even if it's a tie, it's a push, and we have playable lines. I got to take it. Give me the Nats on the first 5 innings money line as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to the desert where the Diamondbacks host the Colorado Rockies. D-backs on the money line. I'm trying not to laugh. Minus 395. Rockies money line plus 310 with a total of 9.5 runs. This is a 1-unit play. The D-backs on the money line are minus 395, but I am getting this at minus 130. I think it's wrong. Give me Corbin Burnes to record a win at minus 130 on DraftKings. Like I said, I'm taking the minus 395 down to minus 130 for them to win the game. Obviously, a few other extra things have to happen. He has to record a win. If you don't know, he has to go at least 5 innings. He has to lead with the lead, and the team can never give up that lead. This line should be minus 160 or more with these money line odds. The minus 1.5 runs in this game is almost minus 200. That's insane. That's why I would never touch that. That's why minus 130 is crazy here. So I don't even know who the Rockies starting pitcher is, and I don't even care. Not even a little bit. They have 0 good starting pitchers. Their bullpen is absolutely horrendous. Let's talk Corbin Burnes. Pitching much better since the first couple starts. He actually just got back-to-back wins versus the Mets and the Dodgers. And now we're getting a home start versus the freaking Rockies. As you can tell, I really like this one. Gave up only 9 hits and 1 earned run in his last 2 starts versus the Dodgers and the Mets. K rate down a little bit. It's been going down last few years. Still limiting some hard contact, though. As long as he has his command, he should dominate them. Even with shaky command, he should be completely fine. The Rockies' offense is the absolute worst offense versus righties in the last 3 weeks. And that's overall. So that's including some games in Coors Field. It's even worse on the road, but they have a 67 WRC plus, hitting 226 versus righties last 3 weeks. They are bad at everything. I'm not going to list anything else. And like I said, even worse at everything on the road. Diamondbacks offense, obviously we need them to score some runs as well. They're going up against Rockies pitching. The Diamondbacks are one of the best offenses in the NL, or in the league, really. They should be able to score a ton of runs here, no matter who the starting pitcher is. Maybe it's a bullpen game for them. Again, that's still fine. But here's a crazy stat. It's not always easy to record a win. In this situation, hopefully it is, but 6 of the last 7 righties have recorded a win versus Colorado. I mean, he better absolutely dominate this team. This D-backs team better get some runs. Love this play for 1 unit. Give me Corbin Burnes to record a win as my second best bet. All right, this third one takes us out to Philadelphia, where the Phillies host the Pittsburgh Pirates. Phillies on the money line minus 230. Pirates on the money line plus 190 with a total of 8.5 runs. I got another half unit play here. It's a same game parlay. Give me Rangers Suarez 5+ Ks and the Phillies on the money line. I got this at plus 104 on DraftKings. So let's talk Suarez first. He's only made 2 starts this year, as most of you guys know. He had 6 and 5 strikeouts versus Arizona and Cleveland. Not the easiest matchups. He got 11 and 7 whiffs. Obviously, we would like more than 7 whiffs. But still, I liked what I saw from what I saw when I watched him pitch. He's typically a guy who pitches a little bit better at home as well. But if you're kind of wanting to know what kind of pitcher he is, last year he sat at around a 23% K rate. He has some good off-speed pitches. Curveball, changeup were pretty good last year. Threw 82 pitches in each of his 2 starts. So, maybe they're going to keep him at 80 to 82 or in that range for a while. And that Ranger, he get it. Okay, anyways, just hit me. I'm expecting 85 to 90 pitches though in this one. So let's talk to the Let's talk about the Pirates offense, which is ugly. But 10th highest K rate versus lefties last 3 weeks, 24.9%. This almost made the good pitcher strikeout matchups. But either way, we're talking about it here. The Pirates have faced 11 lefty starters this year. 9 of those 11 have 5 or more Ks against them. The last 4 lefties, David Peterson, 7 Ks. Sale, 8 Ks. Liberatore, 8 Ks. And Matthew Boyd, 6 Ks. This offense just sucks overall. Let's be honest. And also that could help. Obviously, Suarez can go deep into this game, hopefully have more chances to get more Ks. So I like Suarez 5+ Ks as my first leg. Second one, Phillies on the money line. I mean, they're at home facing Andrew Heaney, who, like I mentioned before, he's hit and miss. Heaney has the hardest road test of the season. He's only made 3 road starts this year, and they've been against the Miami Marlins, the Cincinnati Reds, and the LA Angels. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. This is a guy who struggles with his command. He has 10 walks in his last 14-point innings. I think the Phillies are going to get some runners on base just based on from the walks alone. But Phillies offense absolutely smokes lefties lately. Last 3 weeks, 8th best WRC plus, 6th best slugging, 7th best OPS. You got guys like Kyle Schwarber, who he's like the best lefty on lefty hitter in the major leagues. It's pretty impressive. So overall, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Phillies should get to Heaney and this bad Pirates bullpen. They play well at home. Suarez, like I mentioned, not only do I think he gets 5+ Ks, I think he can shut down this Pirates offense that's been struggling. Tough spot for Pittsburgh here as well. I also thought about Phillies -1.5 or the team total over 4.5, but either way, I'm gonna rock with this one. Give me Suarez 5+ Ks. Phillies on the money line. That is my third and final best bet. And I'm probably going to have at least a hitter parlay and some more added plays in the morning. Just a long night for me. But be sure to stay tuned for those in the pinned comments below on X and on Discord. So before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 3 best bets so far. Nationals, first 5 innings on the money line, -110 for a half unit. Corbin Burns to record a win, -130 for 1 unit. Again, I think that line should be like -160, honestly. Ranger Suarez, 5+ Ks, and the Phillies on the money line. Same game parlay, +104 for a half unit. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I really appreciate the support. Be sure to go check out that NBA video if you haven't already. But hope you guys all have a great Friday and weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.